My name is JC Morales, and this is my presentation on state of the air transport industry. So the purpose, or just what I'm going to do in this presentation, is just provide you guys with an extensive overview on the air transport industry and just explain the graphs a little more in depth and things that might affect it more. Here I have some definitions and terms. I'm just going to read two because I think I use these the most in my presentation. And the first one is net profit, which is the actual profit after working expenses. And the second one is net margin, which is the percentage of revenue remaining after things such as operating expenses, interest, and taxes. There's more, of course, but those are just some examples. So why does the aviation industry struggle in making profit, you may ask? When the collective global profit is about $18 billion and the revenue is about $746 million, the average net margin is 2.4%, which is $6 per passenger in profit. And those are just facts straight from ICAO, and $6 is nothing for those airlines. Other than these strange drops in net profit shown in the graph, profit has been improving. The average return of investment was 5.4% in 2014 and up from 1.4% in 2008. The drops on the net profit shown on the graph are pretty strange if you see. If you recognize there is a pattern, it looks like it drops for 4 years and then it shoots up for another 5 or 6 years. I do have some reasons for this that I will bring up later on my presentation. And one of them is just on safety, basically. So flying is incredibly safe. In 2013, there were about 29 million flights and only 12 hull losses. So why would safety and security be an issue? After 2011, as you can see, there's a drop on the graph right here. There was a loss in confidence and in security that they had in the airports and airlines. On this graph, you see that the net profit dramatically dropped, and that incident continued to make the graph drop for a couple of years. And after a few years, after this incident happened, airlines did invest on security, and we had I searched up some facts and it looked like $8.55 billion a year with taxes and fees were invested to these programs of security, causing the net profit and net margin to drop. So another thing that might impact this net margin and net profit graph that I have here is the demand of aircraft. The air transport industry is constantly modernizing. If you think about it, the industry's just been alive for a little over a century. Technology is changing and so are aircraft. The people demand for the modernized equipment exceeds the original supply of equipment that airlines already have, causing dramatic drops in net profit. For example, the demand of seats on a plane are always rising, but to what extent? People still want available space enabling them to move freely. The airlines still need to make a profit too, with all of those demands by the customers. So they make bigger planes with better equipment and better technology to attract customers. Newer things always attract the attention of people, even if they do not perform better. So net margin is always based on revenue made after the things that affect it and are considered such as operating costs. Net margins do not always directly correlate to net profit, but in these graphs, both the net margin and net profit graph, we do have the same pattern going on. So fuel prices in 2008 shot through the roof. Due to economic growth in many countries, the cost for a barrel were a little over $100, affecting the airlines greatly. Many of these airlines had old model planes with poor fuel consumption, making it harder for them to earn money, especially when the price for a barrel is so high. And here I just have an article on that the New York Times posted on the aviation industry and how fuel was affecting it greatly. On the graphs beforehand that I showed also showed that 2008 was the lowest year on net margin and net profit. Here we just have graphs on fuel price, and 2008, if you guys can tell, both shot up, and that's due to the prices. So I was a little confused on net margin and how it relates to these topics that I talked about. So net margin can be under any of these topics right here. I'm not going to read all of them, but salary and wage expenses and maintenance costs, accountant and legal fees, those all can affect it. So in conclusion to my presentation, I would like to say that one little thing can either benefit or affect an airline badly. One little thing such as security, fuel prices, or even technology such as Wi-Fi on a plane can greatly impact the aviation transport industry. And thank you for your time.